Hi, Tahila here. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about physical touch in relationships. So, most people I know have done the five love languages or are familiar with it. And I'm not saying that you need to go and read the book, but it's quite a fun interactive quiz that you can do for free on their website. And for me, it's not necessarily a science-based tool as much as it's a cheat sheet. It's a fun way to get to know where are we missing each other. If your love language is quality time, so spending special time really connecting with your partner, and your partner's love language is acts of service, which could be like cleaning the house or doing something for the other. You could be constantly missing each other because the more your partner thinks that you're unhappy, the more they're going to be doing for you, around you. And you're going, but like, you don't want to spend time with me, so you obviously don't like me, and the more unhappy you get, and so forth. But a common conundrum that I see is with, and I'm going to really generalize here, saying men and women, but it's not necessarily like one size fits all. But a general thing that I see is that men want this connection, and a lot of times the wives will withdraw because they feel like, if I'm going to hug you, it's going to lead to sex. And I don't feel like sex right now. I'm too tired. I'm too overwhelmed. My love tank is empty. I'm not feeling connected. I don't feel like we're in a good space. I just want to relax. And the men are most likely going, I really just want to connect with you. I'm not feeling in a good space. I'm feeling disconnected. I just want to relax and bond with you. And so that sex for them is a moment of connection. And for you, you're like, no. But the point isn't yes or no, right or wrong. Is it duty sex? Is it love sex? Is it, whatever, all those other things which we can go into. But for me, what's a really crucial thing is to realize that one wants to have sex, and sex is beautifully intimate. It makes me think of one of the quotes in one of Marianne Williamson's books. She says, sex between, and I'm not quoting verbatim here, which is out of memory, but sex between strangers is an excuse for conversation, but between lovers, it's a deepening of the conversation. So it is something special and beautiful, or it can be. But what I'm trying to get to here is that realizing, and this one's for the husbands, and like I said, this is a generalization. This is not for all husbands. It could be wives that do this too. But overall, if you are wanting more physical touch, if you want your partner to stroke your arm when she walks past, if you want her to sit right next to you when she sits down, if you want your partner to touch you more, I find that sometimes they have to be allowed to touch you without the expectation of sex. A lot of times people withdraw touching because they're so worried that if I touch you, it's going to lead to sex. If I just give you the inkling that I just want to be close to you, then it leads to sex, and I don't have the energy to go all that way. I just want some closeness, some contact. When there's little ones, like really little ones in the house, then oftentimes the one partner is completely touched out, and touch just, it's too overwhelming. There's too much already being taken from them. So it's also not personal then, but it's this space thing. But generally where I'm going with this is that I want to ask those that do want more physical touch to allow their partners to touch you or to touch them without it leading somewhere. And you might be thinking, well, if it doesn't lead somewhere, we'll never have sex. But you haven't tried this. Let's see where it goes. Allow your partner some safe touch without it having an expectation, so that you both can form a more intimate bond being close together. And then from that space, I'd also like to ask you guys to hug more. And I know it sounds absolutely like, I find that the longer you're together, it's almost like the shorter you tend to hug. Not for everybody again, but it often happens. The greetings, leaving for work, coming back from work, COVID, now you don't even go to work. There's a lot less hugging. And the thing with hugs is that it releases your feel-good hormones. It releases your trust hormones. So it really builds the connection and the bond and the trust between the two of you. So if you spend some time hugging each other, and without it leading to sex, sometimes of course it can, but having those opportunities, like maybe in the morning, just saying we're going to hug for 30 seconds before we say goodbye, or holding each other for 30 seconds before you go to sleep, tummy to tummy, really lets those juices flowing in the sense of feeling good, oxytocin and the trust hormones. So you're going to feel really bonded and connected when you start doing that more. But it needs to be that safe space where there's not always that expectation, so that you can have that intimate moment beyond sex. I hope this helps. I hope that you have the most beautiful day. Here's to happy hugging. Bye.